I would like to welcome you back to another day and another walkthrough of Luma Island. If you did not know, I have been covering Luma Island in a couple other videos. I got this from the indies and devs, so thank you again for letting me get this game and showcasing it. If you haven't watched those videos, please look up above. There should be something popping up, and you will check out the first starter off and then gameplay. We're going to go over a couple of things that I did figure out, also a little information on multiplayer, and we're going to do a walkthrough of my farm. So Luma Island is a quote-unquote cozy game. It depends on what you consider cozy and what is your cozy. For me, this is definitely in that category because you get an extended inventory and you technically can't die. You just kind of go back to the start, you keep your things, you might lose a couple things here and there, but FYI, if you do have a fear of spiders, there are spiders in this game when you go enter the mines. I would consider Cozy Island a mix of Stardew Valley and a little bit of adventure with Indiana Jones, but again, I'm not going to go through the beginner basics of it. You can check out the other videos. We're going to talk about the things I discovered. So I know in one of my other videos, I talked about I need a pathway. Well, silly me had it in my hands the entire time. If you make gravel, you can hold it in your hand and you can throw it on the ground and make these beautiful pathways, as well as if you accidentally hoe out an area, you can grab your grass, and I will showcase that here. Let's say that, which I know I have a couple of areas. What you'll want to do is you'll want to grab your hay. We're going to put that right there on that hand. Just like we have our gravel right here, you can throw gravel down on the ground. Some areas you won't be able to get to, like I can't get, oh yes we can. There we go, and there we have gravel. I know I have an area, well I went ahead and made this a pathway because that was driving me insane. But let's cut down these trees because I see a couple of areas over here that we need to put down. So now we can plant grass, and now we can fix these holes that we created with our hoe. So I love that. I was trying to figure out left and right how to fill up these areas, but it was my brother who figured it out because we are running a multiplayer save as well. So I'm super excited about that. Another thing that I did bring up is that the bugs annoyed the crap out of me. Well, if you read, which I did not, I read like every animal except for the chickens. The chickens don't only just give you eggs, they also take care of the bugs. So if your farm is spaced out like I did, I don't know, I like a spacious farm. I don't know, I just do, because especially we get a lot of land to work with. But put your chickens out so they can take care of those bugs, and it will change the game for you. Trust and believe. That's why I don't have a lot of my animals gated, because the goats will actually chomp up some of the grass. The chickens will take care of the bugs, and the rabbits will take care of the weeds. Now, if you had a more gated, like if you gated in the whole area, then you could just have your animals running freely. But I don't know, I just like the idea of having things a little bit more open, and that's also why I like the idea of actually doing a multiplayer with my brother, because then I can do a layout differently and he can have his own little area and so far and so forth. So then another thing that I want to showcase is when you go into, and you actually, let's go into the big house here. When you get into your homes, I believe I talked about this in the other video, but I'm not sure, you will get teleports to the land. You have the forest, the mountain, and the jungle. Those will be in your basement. And another thing that you will get access to in the homes is you will get to edit your look in a mirror. Yeah, there it is. You'll get to edit your look in a mirror. So once you build that first house, there is a mirror up there, and then you can go ahead and change your clothes if you'd like. I have this pirate one undone. Actually, let's do this one. This actually looks really cute on her. So let's go ahead and change that outfit up. And then what I like about this house is there's a front and a back door. FYI. When you get your Lumas, one thing that I definitely want to hit on is if you buy Luma food from the mushroom, oops, I did not want to do that. If you buy Luma food from the mushroom people and put those into your inventory, then the Lumas will eat almost double the amount, so you'll get more Luma energy. So if we were to go up top, so every land has this little mushroom keep, and at the top left hand corner is going to give you the money that you're going to be purchasing. Bought 5. Let's do one more for 6. So let's go ahead and grab our Luma power food. All right, so we have our Luma power food. And what this is going to do is after the Lumas have their daily food intake and they get those Luma energies out, you can put this in here and they will eat it. I personally will add 1. And then they've already had their energy, so now they go up and now they go and eat again. And then we'll put another one in there. So now I've been doing this to both of my Luma things. And I've went from like 20 Luma food to now I have 452. It's crazy. All right, so we put 3 in there and we're going to put 3 in the other one. I've noticed that I tried to make it to where all the Lumas are by the food. Because if they're not, only whoever's by there will, and then you won't get the max amount. So that's a little turd. So after we get all those in there, we'll put 1 in there. And now you see how they're all going over there. So this one actually worked a little bit better because they all went over there except for my little Spyro. And then we'll put the last one in there. And now that one went over there. And then you can still go through and pet them individually. And I was working it to where all of my Lumas were out walking free, but as you level up in whatever job you're doing, you'll need Luma energy, and it's hard to chase them down. So honestly, I probably will make this area a little bit bigger. I kind of want to redo maybe one like Luma like ground, to give them a little bit more space. But we'll figure out what we're going to do. And looking at all of our jobs, I'm going to rate them in how they equip for hard or easy. So when you head to town, you are given jobs. These are all the jobs that you can choose. You're giving a cook, a brewer, a shipwright, treasure hunter, blacksmith, fisherman, jewelry crafter, and archaeologist. I will say this. I have done archaeologist last because it said it was the most difficult. Now, running through archaeologists, I feel like I should have did it closer to the beginning, because what you do is with the archaeologist, you have to go in all of the temples and open the little pirate doors. Well, if you're going through the temples as an archaeologist, go ahead and get it done then, because now since I did it last, I am backtracking, having to go through all the temples. And then when you go through the temples and get that door open and grab what you need, you can't just leave. You have to go through the entire temple, and there's only X amount of times that you can die, and you have to start all the way over. So personally, I would try and be an archaeologist first off as you unlock the temple, so you get it done and out of the way. Because if you make it through the temple, then you've already killed 2 birds with 1 stone. You've gotten all the goods you need, and you got the things that you need for the archaeologist. The only difference is if you would need to go back through the tunnels, through the temples, is to unlock the special doors, but you don't have to run through the entire thing when you get those doors open. You can just get the ladder and get back out. So I wouldn't say that this is difficult. I would just say be smart when you do it if you don't want to backtrack. That's completely up to you. I would say Jewelry Crafter isn't that hard, because the Jewelry Crafter is going to get you through the mines, and after you get through the mines, that's when a lot of this stuff is going to be easier, because you get through the mines and get some of the supplies that you might need for Treasure Hunter, and you might need for the blacksmith. So I'm actually happy I started with Jewelry Crafter. Like I said, it actually isn't hard. The Jewelry Crafter, I feel like, does get you unlocked unlocking all of the maps faster. So then that way, all of these other jobs actually become a little bit easier. Once you start the treasure hunter, I would say the treasure hunter and the shipwright kind of go hand in hand, because the treasure hunter and the shipwright kind of tie in stuff that you need for the Luma Island pirates. So you have to fix the pirate ship, but there's stuff that you need from both of these jobs. So if you were to open up the pirate cove first, you may not get that far because you need product from these two jobs. So if you want to go that route, those are the two jobs that I would personally start with. And honestly, jewelry crafter too, because like I said, a lot of these jobs pinpoint on each other that you need one job to get the other one to work. And another thing with the jewelry crafter is going to get you to level up your hoe, your whip, your pickaxe, and your axe faster, because you need those supplies to upgrade it. So again, jewelry crafter is a good start because it's getting you in the mines, it's getting you that material to upgrade your weapons. That's going to make all these other jobs easier. I would put cook and brewer. I would say those are easy as well, because these two go hand in hand. Both of these will need a little bit of farming. So both of these will use the hoe and the axe. And again, hoe, axe, and your jewelry crafter. And again, the cook, the brewer, and the jewelry crafter, those three are good ones to start off with, because those two all kind of go together as well, because you need better qualities to get into the jungle, the forest, and the mountains, but you need products from both of these areas to make this job work. So those three jobs together work really, really well. Blacksmith goes really well with jewelry crafter, because a lot of things that you need to build with are going to come from the mines. So a lot of these jobs are honestly stackable, and then you're going to earn money a lot faster, a lot quicker, that you can build, especially if you're doing a solo run. I've been playing the save by myself, so I've stacked all these jobs at the same time, and some of them I am completely done with. Jewelry crafter I'm completely done with. I think I'm done with cook. I think I just finished cook. And brewer I think I'm almost done with. Fisherman is my least favorite. I don't like chasing the fish with the fishing rod. I think the fish are more difficult than the archaeologist. I don't like the mechanics on the fishing, and you have to remember what fish are what, whether it's in the forest, the mountains, or the mine, or the forest, the mountain, or the jungle. And even when you go to those places, certain fish are in certain watering holes, so you have to find them, and I care less about that. So I'm not too keen on the fisherman job. That's my least favorite. My favorite's honestly probably the jewel crafting, the cook, and the brewer, and then probably the blacksmith, the archaeologist, shipwright, treasure hunter, and then fisherman are probably my favorites. And like I said, they say this is difficult, but I don't think it's that difficult. I think, like I said, jewelry is one of the best ones to start off with, because you're going to be unlocking the mines and all the supplies that you need. Once you've done some jobs in town, you will be able to get the shop fixed. And we have a bakery that's here. We also have the ability to have pets. This pet store is up here. And this is where you can buy more Luma eggs. So if you want more Lumas to get more energy, you can come here and buy them. So we may go pin out a section of our farm and just make a whole Luma area so they can roam freely. And this will also give us more Luma energy. But we're to the point where on my end, a lot is unlocked, which I'm super excited about. And then we're going to head on back to our farm. And I'm going to show you a little bit more. Let's go ahead and bring the sun up. We went through a whole day of that. One thing I like is that the food doesn't expire. So coming out onto our farm, we still have our camper. This is where I do my main crafting at. And yeah, I made doubles. I do have chests because sometimes I do get annoyed with everything being in my inventory. But when you're going through and making stuff, sometimes having everything in your inventory is nice, because if it's in there, you're going to craft it and you're good to go. But going this way, this is the original setup of our garden. This was the first supplies that we had. And then I went ahead and stuck in some kiwis. And then I put a cute little tent area here. We did a lot of decorating. And then our temple is up there, our farm temple. These are our strawberries. We still deal with this guy. And then as you upgrade, you can add your own shop to your farm. So now I can come here and buy supplies instead of going into town if I need to. So this is really cool, really handy. You have your own general store. This is where we have our pigs. They're not as free roaming, but it's okay. And then we have our cabin here. This is where I do most of my food in my brewery. I stuck this back here. And then we have more of our trees. We have our almonds, our coconuts, our coffee beans. We put those there. Let me go grab these eggs that are back here. And then as we go to our side here, actually we're going to go up and around. All the animals can roam freely. We'll put this cute little gazebo here, and all these rides you can travel to town, but I like having them around just for decor as well. But then we do have fast travel that takes us to the center of town. We did some decorating with some flowers. These are all of our other trees that we have. Our rabbits are here taking care of the weeds. We do have these goats here. I don't know why it's always in front of the goat's gate that always gets grass and stuff in front of it. I put them gated because I wanted access to their milk a lot easier and faster, because when they roam, you got to find them. I'm not too worried about the chickens because I have a ton of eggs, so that's why I don't have them. But the goats, I needed to control kind of their milk. And then here are our other crops. We have potatoes and sugar cane here. And then we're going to come up on, we have some cars. These are also fast travel. That we can walk in and fast travel with those. This is the second house that you can get that we put here. This one is one of my favorites. I think it's super cute. This one has a cute little nook up here. And then it has the basement. This is when you get the forest and the mountain, and then your mirror is down there. Is this a front door? I'm like, yes. And so then we have our watermelons and our pumpkins. I need to get some more so we can get all of that filled. Our cows. I know, my poor cows are just surrounded by plants. Bless their hearts. Kind of get all this cleared up out of the way. And if there are trees in the way, the cows will get blocked in, because there was a tree in front of their gate and they couldn't get out. And the minute I moved it, then I could get them out. So I was like, oh, I do need to get, like, they couldn't get in. See, they're trying to get in. They couldn't get in. And so we can go inside and grab that milk. So we had to get rid of that for them because that blocked their way. And then we have the castle that is here. That's where we went in earlier. I wish I could terraform to make that, like, flat. If we go back here, I started to make, like, a little campground. But again, the only thing that I'm not a fan of is how fast the grass and everything grows back. That's the only downside. When you don't put down gravel or anything, like, everything comes back in abundance. So I wish there was a means to, like, not always have that. But if I do make a pathway with, like, a hoe or something, then it's just going to weed over, and then that's more work for the other animals. So, I don't know, you know, small issues that we shouldn't care about, but I do care about. That is what it is. And then when we come back here, this is another area. And this is what I'm talking about. I just wanted to space out and use the land because I don't mind doing it. And like I said, I also need to come through and like really give my Lumas a lot more space. But at the same time, I'm trying to utilize not having to build more stuff. So there's that. But I thought about blocking off the area over here, maybe, and like putting the houses here, but then I have all this water and that's going to keep them crowded too. So I'm undecided on what I want to do over here. And then we do have a little tower here that we can climb up on, and we can see the land a little bit. So I think that's super cute. And you can put as many of these as you want. And then you just go back on down. Like the general shop, you can have your own farm shop. So we can come here and buy all these supplies that we need right here. So I think that's really nice. I was curious on if there was going to be any more product being planted. So I was kind of waiting for that. But I think it's handy that once you get going, that you can just have everything right here on your land. So I thought that was handy. So we put that there. We're still building a couple of things. And then as we get to the water, this is where we put the pirate tavern. Now the pirate tavern does not have a teleport. It does have 2 beds, so someone could easily sleep here. And then up top, you can edit your look, but it does not have a teleport to any of the locations. You can use the wardrobe, and then you would just go back down. So it's nice and handy to have here on the beach. And this is where I do some of my fishing when I do go do it. And then some of the shipwright and blacksmith. No, did I put blacksmith stuff here? This is the shipwright workbench, and this is the treasure hunters workbench. So I put all of that there. And other than that, we haven't really done anything out here on the beach. And then we do have 2 pets. We have a cat and a dog that I have. Where did I put their houses at? I put a cat and a dog out here, but I don't remember where I put their house. I feel like it's right in front of me. Oh, I put it back here. So the cat and the dog don't give us, of course, any Luma energy. They're just there for decoration. We could have them with us, but we don't. We just let them roam. I usually don't bring anything with me anymore. If I do grab one, I will grab a Luma. Actually, I may hatch another Luma that can fight and just have that one with me at all times, because that's really the only one that I really use. I really don't need the Lumas that can light torches, because it's really not that hard to just walk up to a torch and light it myself. So I'm not too worried about that. So we didn't pet these ones. But I should be good. Like, I'm now at 530 Luma energy. So once you start collecting your Lumas and really getting them, I can't remember which one I petted one of these. Okay, there we go. And once you get that energy, oh, we're still missing one. We need one more Luma to fill that. Because our next jobs that we'll have do take so much Luma energy. So you definitely want to start stockpiling that. Like this one, we have all the Luma energy. We just need 500 watermelons. So that's something that I'll be working on, etc., etc. But yeah, Luma Island has been a whole lot of fun that I've really, really enjoyed. Another thing that I would suggest is if you want things to go a little bit smoother, since this was my first save file and I was just playing the game as is and learning as I go, one thing that I would suggest is if you happen to be playing solo, which again, it doesn't bother me, try and put things closer, but then you're not going to utilize a lot of the land, so that's a personal preference as well. But try and put all of the crops that need fertilizer kind of in the same spot, so then you can just fill the sprinkler system to just go as it is, because it does use multiple fertilizers at once. So like every growing phase, it uses fertilizer. I noticed that when I was playing with my brother, and he was like, I just put like 100 fertilizer in here, it's already gone. Every growing phase, it uses fertilizer. I thought it only used fertilizer when you harvested it, but every time it grows, it uses fertilizer. So you're gonna go through a lot. I just saw the fertilizer, and this is another thing about the inventory. If your eyes start crossing, that's another sign that honestly I just prefer organizing my inventory. I wish there was a button in the inventory that you could hit to organize it. Like if there was, like if I could click the backpack and it would categorize it. That's the only thing I wish it would do. I don't mind the infinite inventory. I actually like it because then I don't get weighed down and I don't not pick up something because of whatever reason. So I just wish that I could push a button to make it organize. That's the only thing I would 100% prefer that it did. Other than that, I think it's very handy. I like a lot of the decorating. I don't know if there's anything that needs to go there. If not, we'll take that out. I like the lights because you can change the color of the lights. There's little things here and there that I've picked up on that you can do if you're a person that likes decorating and really like putting things together. We do need to make some more fertilizer though, because I have a ton of this. That's what sucks too. A lot of things that when you need them, you have to have them in your main hotbars, and that can kind of be a drag, especially if you were just searching and searching for it like I was and you couldn't find it, and then your eyes start to twitch and hurt, so that's a little annoying. I think I'm gonna put the rest of this in here. There we go. Put the rest of that in there, but I will show you also what it's like to harvest everything. I try and harvest everything either later, or I notice at time when the bugs aren't around. Because like I said, yes, we have the chickens, and the chickens handle the bugs, but I still hate the noise. And after they get to a certain growth, they won't get on your stuff. So there's that. So I try and do it when it maybe won't be prone to hit. And one thing, if you do not come to your farm and you stay in like the forest or something, your chickens and all that will not work. So if you're going to be gone for a day or two, just know when you get back, everything's going to be overgrown. Bugs are going to be on everything. Or just leave when you know everything is already grown, and then you don't have to worry about coming back and everything is a hot mess. All the grass will be back. That's the only downside of leaving for a couple days. Right. Well, let me know what you think about Luma Island. Have you been playing it? Are you enjoying it? And if you're playing multiplayer, what do you like most about a multiplayer? I like being able to hang out with my friends, aka my brother. We've been playing it together and he has really enjoyed it. Again, you can get Luma Island over on Steam. Luma Island Pirates is fun and inviting, and it is controller compatible, FYI. So be sure to check out all of the videos that I have covered with Luma Island if you would love to see more, because we have unlocked the mystery of Luma Island. So if you want to check out what I decide to do, there is a certain item that we can destroy or release. Let me know down in the comments if you want me to destroy it or release it, and we will make a video on that task at hand. I love and appreciate you guys. Don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe, hit the little bell so you don't miss any of the next videos, and let me know if there's any other games that you would like for me to showcase. If you are a company, a dev, or a publisher or anything, please contact me if you would like me to touch base on your game. We love everything indie and everything simulation here in the Lunagalaxy. So have a good rest of your day or night wherever you are. This is Lunagalaxy out.